Today at 1, a guilty verdict for the two men who cut down the world-famous Sycamore Gap tree. Also on the programme. Hello and welcome to the news at 1. Two men have been found guilty of cutting down the world-famous Sycamore Gap tree in Northumberland and damaging Hadrian's Wall where it fell. In what's been described as a moronic mission, Daniel Graham and Adam Carruthers drove to the World Heritage Site during Storm Agnes in 2023 and filmed the devastating damage on a mobile phone in the middle of the night. Our North of England correspondent Fiona Trotz is in Newcastle Crown Court. Fiona, some compelling evidence was heard. Pope Leo XIV has told cardinals he hopes he can help the Church illuminate what he calls the dark nights of this world. Celebrating his first Mass as pontiff, he said the Catholic Church should identify through the holiness of its members, not the grandeur of her buildings. King Charles is among the leaders of different nations and faiths who've been offering their congratulations since yesterday's election. Well, our Rome correspondent Sarah Rainsford is at the Vatican and said tariff deal between the UK and the United States. Businesses have been seeking to work out what it means for them. The Trade Secretary, Jonathan Reynolds, said thousands of jobs in the car industry were just days away from being lost because of previous tariff changes and that the new deal has saved them. So what's in it? Well, steel and aluminium from the UK had been subject to 25% tariffs or import taxes when they go to the United States. But we now know that those tariffs have been removed completely. A big relief for the struggling industry, but there will be a limit on the amount that can be exported tariff-free, and we don't yet know what that limit is. There's also some good news for the car industry, which is our biggest goods export to the US. The rates facing firms like Jaguar Land Rover was 27.5%, but that has been cut to 10%, but only for the first 100,000 vehicles. And more beef will be traded tariff-free between the two nations as the Prime Minister sought concessions to get the deal over the line. Well, Sir Keir Starmer has characterised the deal as being about jobs saved, not job done, and says this is just the start of negotiations. Our international business correspondent, Theo Leggett, reports. Well, in a moment, we'll hear from our Deputy Economics Editor, Darshini David. But first, our political correspondent, Helen Katz, is in Westminster. And Helen, the government has been celebrating, but opposition members scrutinising the details. The time is 18 minutes past 1. Our top story this afternoon. An art expert who appeared regularly on the BBC's Bargain Hunt has pleaded guilty to terror financing offences. Achuko Ajiri admitted failing to report a series of high-value art sales to a man suspected of providing money to the group Hezbollah. Our Home Affairs correspondent Daniel Sanford joins us this lunchtime. And tensions remain high between India and Pakistan after India launched a military operation against alleged terror infrastructure in Pakistan and Pakistan-administered Kashmir on Tuesday. Officials say that 36 people have been killed by airstrikes and firing, whilst India has reported that at least 16 people were killed by shelling on its side of the line of control. Just a warning, this report from Davina Gupta does contain some distressing images. Russia held a military parade in Moscow today to mark the 80th anniversary of the defeat of Nazi Germany in the Second World War. The giant tunnel boring machine, which has been carving out the most complex part of the HS2 rail project, has broken through in Birmingham. The 1,600-ton machine, called Marianne, has successfully tunnelled 3.5 miles, including underneath the M6 motorway and the River Tame. Our Midlands correspondent Phil Mackey joins us live from Birmingham. I'll be back with you soon, but now on BBC One, it's time to join our colleagues with the news where you are. The CEO of Inditex, the owner of Zara, has called for Europe to close the tax loophole which has allowed Shein and Temu to ship low-value goods to the EU and UK duty-free. In his first TV interview, Oscar Garcia Mathaira told the BBC that a level playing field is needed for the retail industry. More details from our business correspondent, Emma Simpson. Now, there aren't many children's book series that have sat on shelves through 3 generations, but Thomas the Tank Engine is one of them. It's 80 years since his adventures on Sodor were first published, and to mark the anniversary, a previously unseen episode of the TV series, narrated by Ringo Starr, has been brought back to life. Our reporter, Graham Satchell, has been taking a look. Ben, thank you. And that's all from today's BBC News at 1. Do enjoy the rest of your afternoon. Bye-bye.